This foam is stiffer than Hugh Hefner in his prime.
Perfect.
Hello there, broskis. Urkin back here. But of course, if you're new to the channel, this is the life of a broski, where we do sneaker unboxings and reviews just like this one. So if that's your cup of tea, hit that subscribe button and hit me up on the IG as well. I'm going to be doing a Q&A maybe in like a week or so keep your eyes peeled for that. And without any more waffle, on today's episode, I am reviewing the Nike Air Max Plus 2. Now this is literally the forgotten middle child. Your mum and dad, they have a couple children, they have about 3 or maybe even 4. Maybe the second or the third one kind of get forgotten about. They're just in the family. See them maybe once a year, maybe even once every couple years. And I think this is Nike's Air Max Plus's version of that, because we see the Air Max Plus, the original one, the OG, especially here in the UK, that original OG, or TN as we like to call it over here. The grime scene has just boosted that sneaker, but they came out in '98 and these followed up the originals in 2000. And from what I've heard, these weren't really the ones that Nike were looking for to follow up such a classic sneaker. So it wasn't too long before they brought out the Freeze, and that was another banger. The 1 and the Freeze, they just took off. And these bad boys, I'm not so sure that people really like this one. I feel like it was so different to the 1, but it just didn't do it. Like, even looking at it now, I can see where Nike had a problem with it. Out of the 3, I'm gonna have to give it to the ones, the OG TN. It's just got that bad boy look to it, the vibe. It just does it for me. But the 3, on the other hand, I think it goes with a lot more outfits. And it's a bit more of a sensible Air Max. And the 2s, we're gonna have a deep dive in this video to see whether these hold up even now, 20 years on from its original release. And I'm gonna talk about the sizing, the fit, the price, where you can get your hands on a pair. But without any more waffle, broskis, let's have a look at the box. Let's see if Nike have blessed us with something amazing to hold these babies in. And no, we don't. We've got the OG red box, which you all know what I feel about this box. Just calm down, Urks, calm down. It's not that deep. It just holds the sneakers, bruh. And on the product sticker, it reads Air Max Plus 2, and the official colorway is Valor Blue and Ghost Green. Some people are calling this the Valerian Blue, and that sounds a bit sexier, so, you know, but that's what the sticker says, Valor. I don't know how to pronounce that. Leave that down below, broskis. Leave it down below. Now, these are retailing at £150 here in the UK, and they were released over here on the 19th of November. And the release colorways were, of course, this colorway, alongside that black and dark smoke grey color. And I am a fan of black colorways to sneakers, but it just looked a bit too boring for my liking. And broskis, if you are looking to cop a pair, I will provide some links down below so you can check out the latest prices and sizes. Now broskis, having a butcher's hook, aka look, around this sneaker, and it is very reminiscent to the other TN silhouettes, just in terms of using those mesh panels on the upper and also including those TPU overlays. Now, what's different with this silhouette is we have that nubuck toe guard at the front in that blue color, and if you look at this sneaker from a bird's eye view, it kind of looks like Magneto's helmet. Now, just like most other TNs that include any sort of color, it transcends from 2 different colors. So towards the back of the sneaker, it is of course that blue, and it gradually blends into the white right at the front. Now, I feel like these sort of wavy designs to the TPU accents just weren't implemented as nicely as the OG TN. Maybe it's just this colorway though. I am curious to see other colorways just in terms of how they implement that gradient look to the color blocking and also those TPU overlays. And of course, we've got those 3M reflective panels on the toe box box, going up the tongue and towards the lateral and medial side towards the forefoot. And for me, that's one of the best things about this sneaker's design. And going to the tongue, it shares that same gradient look in terms of the color blocking. And right at the top, it's got the Nike swoosh with the Air branding. Now inside of the tongue, it is of course that darker blue with again that mesh material, and the mesh is also on the inside of the sneaker. Now making our way to the heel counter and going alongside the collar, we've got those overlays in that purple armored design, and it does slightly change color depending on the angle. It's got that sort of bluey purple tint, and with these purple accents, it just gives it that extra retro vibe. Now on the back, we've got the TN Air badge, and going down the bridge of the heel counter, these horizontal lines going down sort of look like they connect the TPU overlays. Now we've got the same purple color blocking to the midsole, and Broskis, honestly, even touching this now and trying them on foot, this foam is stiffer than Hugh Hefner in his prime. Nah, this is mad. This is mad. Now of course we've got that see-through air unit towards the back and those smaller air units towards the front too. And to finish off on this black outsole, we've got the TN Air branding towards the back and the signature TN buttons, and the blues and the greens on this outsole. Those little highlights just make it look that little bit more retro. So Broskis, what do we have here? And honestly, if I'm totally honest, I really wanted to like these. I really did. These have Defino. That sounds like a Greek waiter. Defino Kostinalos. You can see that Nike have cut corners with this sneaker. Just in terms of the build quality, the cushioning as well, it's not as cushioned as the OG TN and nowhere near as cushioned as the TN Freeze. Yeah, it's a bit disappointing overall. Now moving on to the sizing of this sneaker, and these don't fit like the original TNs or even the TN Freeze. The TN OG is a lot more narrow than the TN Free, but I could still go for my normal sizing on the TN1 and I wouldn't have a problem. But on this sneaker, I went for my UK 9 and they do fit a little tight. So it sort of feels like your toes are sort of just jammed in there. It's a really uncomfortable feeling. So I'm going to advise go half a size up. And if you do have wide feet, at least one size up. Now in terms of comfort, Broskis, how do these hold up compared to its siblings? And I've got to say, as much as it does disappoint me, it just falls short of both of them. I feel like the OG TN got it so right on its first try. It just has so many things right to it. And this sneaker just justifies why it was forgotten all those years ago and why it hasn't gotten the same love as a re-release from Nike. I feel like this foam is so stiff towards the forefoot mainly, but also the air units on this sneaker. It doesn't really do much for me in terms of the comfort. Both the TN1 and 3, in my opinion anyway, has always been one of the most comfortable Air Max sneakers. So for this to not have that same impact on me, it's just very disappointing. One of the upsides though is how the upper sits on your foot. It's got that nice snug feeling. It's more reminiscent to the TN1 more so than the 3. And I think if I got that half size up, I would have liked them a little bit more when it comes to how comfortable they are. But overall for comfort, Broskis, I am going to give a 7.5. And I wasn't even going to score it that high. It's just I really like how those materials on the upper just sit nice and snug on foot. And because of the sizing issue, I really don't want to be too harsh on this sneaker. Now, this sneaker is covered in mesh panels towards the upper. But how breathable is this sneaker? Now, like the Air Max Plus 1 and even the 3, I never really had issues with those sneakers in terms of how ventilated they were. And thankfully, there isn't really much to moan about with this sneaker either. The materials on this upper, in particular the mid panels, are very thin, so you won't have a problem in terms of that over insulated feeling with this sneaker. And if you were to go for a pair, these would be one to wear in the summer. But overall, Broskis, in terms of breathability, I am gonna score it an 8. Now, my fellow Broskis and Broskets, is this sneaker a buy or a buy? Now I know Nike have tried to bring this sneaker back out and follow up with all the success of the tuned Air 1 and 3. The re-releases to those classic and iconic sneakers have been so popular. But maybe it's this colorway, and maybe it's the sizing issue for me, maybe it's a personal thing. But on the other hand, when I've put them up on my Instagram, go follow that, some people liked it and some people didn't. And for £150, I don't think this sneaker justifies that price tag. Me personally, I'm not gonna keep these. These were just to review. I might get them on sale if they go for around £80 to £100, and I'm also gonna wait for more colorways. As much as I like this colorway, this sort of 90s retro vibe to it, it's just not for me. Overall, I don't really love this colorway. But I've spoken about the cons in terms of how stiff the midsole is, the narrowness to the sneaker, but there are a couple pros too. Like how the mid panels just sit on your foot, it's just so nice and snug. And that is just very reminiscent to the TN1. And the styling, in my opinion, it's not bad. It's actually pretty nice. I just think the colorway is what I have a problem with. But let's see, broskies. Let's see what other colorways Nike bring out. And I am hoping that Nike do show this sneaker as much love as the other TNs. But if people don't buy them, I don't see that happening. But broskies, overall, this sneaker, I'm gonna have to say bye. Being such an Air Max Plus fanboy, I really did want to like this sneaker. But if I am comparing the tuned Air 2 to those other two brothers, I would pick those any day. But anyways, broskies, I'm curious to know what you think on this sneaker. Are you a fan of the tuned Air line? Does this sneaker do it for you? Or are you like me that you're waiting for more colorways? Leave all your comments down below and I will be pinning the best one. Anyways, broskies, that's enough waffle from me. As always, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share, and until next time, take care.